opposition. Out there crushing any competition.
Take the stance. I ain't got too much to say.
Already sneaks his way up street side. It's going to be Simp. He does find that first kill. He's able to find two, relieve some of that pressure. Now two of his teammates are going to be here to at least assist him. But Assault, he's able to shut down the pressure with 3 of his own. That TAC 56 in hand makes every gunfight look a little bit easier. So LAG win the rotation and win a couple gunfights. And now they should be fully set up. But that's going to be Atlanta FaZe finding a couple kills. They're ready to set the pinch up.
And that's just the aggression. That's just the aggression that Atlanta FaZe can express. But LAG, his pick, and the rest of the team does their job as well. Thieves starting to heat up inside of the kitchen. Right now, he sits at 4 in a row as the Guerrillas look to only extend their advantage. Jay, it feels like every time we cast over this team, Thieves is the guy to put up numbers, and he has been electric in hardpoint as of late.
Yeah, especially on a map like Embassy. He has the #1 overall KD on this map with a 1.4 KD. That's crazy because he's an SMG player. That means he's just flying around, but Cellium is able to find. And at least Atlanta FaZe just getting closer and closer to take his back kiss in position. Allow your teammates to set up the pinch through street. As Cellium just waiting towards top plat. He spots one, able to line up the shots, take down, exceed. And this is going to be Atlanta FaZe with early success on towards P2. Last time around, it was all LAG finding the kills, holding strong, and eventually finding about 25 seconds. But Cellium on a fire spree, 19 and 8 to start off this hard point. Atlanta FaZe breaks away from taking the lead.
Yep, very close to grabbing that advantage as Slasher and Cellium. The AR duo continue to combine for kills. Moments away from grabbing that advantage. Let's step aside and go to listening with Atlanta FaZe.
Last one, he's front. Super mid, one shot. I'll see him. He might have been hosing. I'll see him. I'm leaving for this. Running AC radius. AC one shot. Orange. One more in orange.
A great little check-in there with Atlanta FaZe. We know, right, this is a world championship caliber type roster. Rings across the board, but even those comms, as great as they were not able to crack the code over at the ACs. As LAG once more keep themselves alive, keep themselves just narrowly in the driver's seat. But back toward the office we go, and now it's their opportunity to have the spawns at their back. As Simp looks to heat up Jay. Now 3 in a row.
Oh, big kills coming in from Simp. Controlling the spawns, knowing that they're all going to be towards kitchen side, trying to attack towards the back of sign, and also push through mid bathrooms. As Atlanta FaZe find themselves only down by 20.
Drop with the SMG himself, and Atlanta, they run right back on through. Arcitys, though, puts 2 away. Has got some words for aBeZy and Cellium as Big Daddy Alec hops right in the kitchen.
All the way towards the back of Embassy. It's going to be quite some time before they're able to get on and contest this, especially when you're not winning gunfights. And C goes for the challenge onto Slasher, but now it's a 1v1. He eventually does get taken care of, and this has been a great hold from LAG.
1v1. He eventually falls. 3 players.
They got P2 as well
on the map, but Arcitys is able to pick one away. So the only player really at that 50-yard line right now for Guerrillas. Got to play strong, and they cannot allow for a pick to go the other direction. Simp versus Arcitys, and it's Simp who's able to grab it. Another crucial kill for him. Here comes Atlanta.
Oh, but Assault, he finds 2 kills towards the back of kitchen, so now that's going to open up the pinch. All of LAG trying to put pressure on through the middle. They find the break. The contest this right now. If you are Simp, just try to find this kill onto Exceed. You see where LAG is starting to spawn all the way towards the middle of the map. They can close it out here, but trades are going back and forth. LAG win the rotation over towards next.
Go and scrap it. Let's rotate toward new. Make FaZe come to us. And that's exactly what's going to have to be needed at this moment. Assault having a great game, able to cut away the first. MC wiped off the map and hitting the respawn screen. 5 seconds to go. Thieves, they start to line up. aBeZy, can he get here in time? Can he contest? And no, he will not.
Time is starting to tick. There's only 20 seconds left, and neither one of the squads have lost a player.
Oh, and Exceed ends up dying. At least tosses out that nade, able to stall the push, at least for the moment. But 15 seconds left. Atlanta FaZe have got to get a move on. Thieves catches a flying aBeZy. Now it's up to Cellium and Simp. Still a job to do, and as long as LAG stays alive, this round becomes impossible. Simp, some great gunfights, and sees his good old buddy Arcitys. Oh, tell you what, man, Atlanta FaZe, it just didn't seem like there was any presence at that bomb site at all. They finally put...
Wasting a lot of time right now. The attack is about to come in from Assault, so he's going to be able to open the door right on open. But unfortunately, the timing isn't going to match up, but he finds the kill onto Cellium. At least aBeZy's there for the trade, 3v2.
aBeZy's really the player to look out for. Slasher goes down, pops dead silence now, 1v3. A bomb that he planted, now he's gonna have to defend it. Hops right on that bomb, has to jump off. Now back on the defuse again. aBeZy will fall, and Arcitys remains flawless. Cuts down Simp a few rounds ago, and
Go to them. And I thought aBeZy was able to get off that site beautifully, but Cellium take 45 seconds.
it's the one lane. It's the one lane Atlanta Faze wasn't holding. I'm down over at B. Cellium going for some spray checks. Can he find anything? Continuing to tag up a few of these pots and pans, but it's Joe to Thieves who walks away with both. aBeZy and Simp erased, but Cellium still with a bit of life. 20 seconds to go. Drops. Guerrillas positioned. It looked like LAG knew exactly what Atlanta Faze was going to do when it came down to the rotations of where they wanted to take this bomb site. This is their best game mode. Like, they are literally 12-6, in danger of going 12-7 now. They looked lights out, like the best team in Raleigh at this very game mode, but Simp starts to arrive as he'll cut away 3. And instantly we start talking about Atlanta Faze going down once more.
Gonna be a 4v4 retake once again.
Really shots being established in from Arcitys. Let's get a bit of information. That's really about it. Exceed somehow already finds himself toward top bed. Finds one on his slasher. aBeZy. He also gets dropped. Cellium at least is able to find one before he removes himself from that team fight, and understandably so. They do not have the numbers, but right now they also don't have the time. It continues to tick away, and Exceed very well could be gifted another kill, and there it is. Simp will fall, and it is clean work and search and destroy from the Guerrillas.
As with the Guerrillas putting a lot of pressure over towards this A point, they're forcing all of Atlanta Faze to continuously spawn out towards back white. So the last push is basically gonna come in towards A. Joe to see at least takes down one. And now his teammates have to be ready for the push. Assault finds a second. You have to get on this point if you are Atlanta.
Yeah, this is the frustrating part if you're Atlanta. Like, you almost have to like iron around every single door that you point. Very well could be that B zone. The only player that stands in the way is going to be Joe to Thieves. A few seconds left. Somebody from Atlanta Faze is going to have to dolphin dive into the point. Simp will fall, and there you go.
The LAG, you put yourself in the advantage by just simply getting one segment done. These gunfights can be so crucial, but if you are LAG, it's all about getting that one tick of aggression in.
Oh, and Cellium just going into turret mode. Absolutely beaming across the map. Putting a hurt onto the Guerrillas, and from there, as he puts the pressure in from the front, rather from the back, it's aBeZy who's doing work on the flank. Great work there from aBeZy as he skates into 9-4 territory.
25-yard line because they just can't get across.
Exactly what you want to see, right? Atlanta down 2-0. They need to answer back into control, and you want to see them almost come away with a more dominant defensive round than what we just saw LAG do, and that is what we are seeing.
My God.
To 10 and lives is how we will
Play corner at the corner until and make it very difficult for you to break out.
I don't know if anybody's having a more fun time in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 than aBeZy right now. The guy is 7-5. We are literally 2 rounds into the game. It snapped onto his 6th. Good God. Atlanta off the back of aBeZy. Quickly jump onto that A point. There you go. Now 6 in a row for aBeZy. Having himself a time as that A zone quickly gets captured. Another minute added onto the clock. And oh yeah, aBeZy sniffs out Joe to Thieves too.
Oh, and this can start to get scary. But at least the spawns are on the favorable side for the Guerrillas. Still spawning out towards Cliff, but it's all the players from Atlanta Guerrillas. Tacks are hitting, but the second tick is already here. The test is not going to be here. And would look like it'll be a flawless defensive round from Atlanta Faze.
Let's see low control as he's already found himself in a great spot. Quickly and hungry, ready to pounce. 2 players wiped away. There's going to be another one. 3 players found.
The clock. Assault finds one. Now this should open up some pressure over towards A. But aBeZy just keeps on slipping by. They can't find this guy.
I couldn't either. I mean, he literally is everywhere. He is everywhere. He was at B, he's at A, he's in the top side, he's in the bottom side. Thank you very much. I'm now 24-6. Oh, God, for the kill. But 30 seconds to go, and LAG have nothing. They have absolutely nothing to their name. No segments, no ticks, and nobody currently on an objective. That has to change soon as Exceed finally and somehow very cautiously makes his way over to that B zone. And tell you what, Jay, he finally starts to make his way forward, and there is aBeZy to cut him down again. 10 seconds left before LA Guerrillas get put to bed.
No, well, I'm just wondering why Atlanta Faze auto-vetoed this for basically since last year, because they just came out and just dominated the last 3 rounds. No segments to show. Like, yeah, play the music, man. That was a very, very fast. It's the next hard point. So now if you are Atlanta, you want to try to fight for as much P1 time as you can.
And it feels like he's been waiting for hours for his players, his teammates to come off the spawn. He's ready to jump on through. Cellium able to find a pick. Simp goes first, able to find one on to Exceed. Thieves gets wiped away as well. Simp is handling business. The only player still alive inside of the Cantina is going to be Assault, but he is at least able to find 2. Keep in mind, this is P2. Cantina, it's actually on the bottom side. We'll eventually visit the second story, but right now, it is all about the bottom. It's Simp to start, and it's aBeZy right now to close. Atlanta Faze break on in, and they look to extend their lead.
Your teammates to get into the play before you attack.
You can see Exceed, man. You can see those eyes constantly taking a look at that mini-map, just trying to get a better idea of what's going on. No red dots, but who cares? Atlanta erupt again. It just feels like LAG are just struggling to even see what the Cantina looks like. They forgot. Atlanta, picture perfect work as aBeZy continues now at 13 and 8.
Rotation after rotation. For the last 3 hard points that are putting them closer and closer to that 250-point mark. This game is basically almost over, Lando. Atlanta Faze made the adjustments and should be able to close this one out and force game 5.
Goodness sake, I mean, there had to be a very interesting halftime speech, I'm sure, when it came down to all. It's also translated here onto Mercado, as we're about 15 points away from already seeing a game 5. It feels like one of the fastest game 3 and game 4 back-to-back. This one back the best way that they can. I mean, they're trying to think about spawns, but just with the lead growing the way that it is.
And this one is done and dusted, my man. Let me tell you, because LAG, they're still getting the bad side spawns going in towards that P2. And it's just the SMGs for Atlanta Faze just cutting them down. Simp is sitting at 11-11. Feet kicked up on this hard point. 4 seconds away. Atlanta Faze force game 5.
And there you go, Atlanta. Huke cook up is a early offensive victory here on iLLeY. As you said, their specialty when it comes down to this map and mode. Thieves eager to play it down. The bomb does exactly that, and now it's on to Atlanta Faze to hit this retake. This is Atlanta. You've yet to jump in. Somebody's got to do something. Simp does exactly that. Pops through with 1. 15 seconds to go, and it is all out chaos. Arcitys, last one up. Now a 1v2 has to play the time. He has to play the time. He's going to go for the top POV. Catches out Simp. Oh, Arcitys! Picture perfect work. Delivers in the first round. Thieves eager to answer. Able to bring things now to a 3v3. Bomb down already.
Bomb down already. You have the tiny terrace who is still staying alive in towards the site. Simp at least finds 1, but unfortunately Thieves with the team kill. He does have Dead Silence pop, but so does Slasher. Just has to find the timing. He might have read this play beautifully, and Thieves, the young gun for the LAG roster, makes up for the unfortunate team kill by clutching up the 1v1 versus Slasher. Great round from LAG on the retake. They solo out both the players in towards the site, and eventually Thieves
is no to get the plant down and basically play off that strategy that, as you've called, Jay, they know so well.
Now the 3v4 retake. aBeZy knows that Thieves is the player that usually plays in toward the site, but he cannot win the gunfight. Slasher does take down 1, but Thieves is taking over in this search and destroy. All left up to Slasher 1v3 and the Guerrillas.
Pick up, and now they have absolutely got to. S&D has been their book. Tosses it perfectly. Slasher will fall. aBeZy does too. This is all the makings of a quick 4. And there you go, Guerrillas. Lab, Jay. They've been in the lab.
Bro, let me tell you, the double nade onto Slasher to get the first blood. And you know how aggressive the time.
Just right back into the search and destroy. And Guerrillas, as if they haven't skipped a beat, as if that game 3 and game 4 never happened. aBeZy and Simp, the 2 players it feels like who have been the difference maker. It's on to the vets, Assault and Arcitys.
Oh, he checks the corner but cannot win the gunfight. On to Cellium. Now it's Arcitys in a 1v3. Already clutches up 1. Finds that first kill onto aBeZy. He does not have that bomb in hand, so this round could be a little more difficult. He has to go retrieve it. But that silence is not going to be here for Arcitys. Can he try to clutch up again for the Guerrillas?
Oh, holds his irons. It looked like he had that gunfight.
Because no one from LAG are going to be in towards that A-bomb.
Oh, the sun gets open, but Simp is ready for it. Simp is ready for it. LAG and a play cooked up. A perfect read there for Simp as he walks away with the first, but Exceed runs through, cuts down one. He also falls off of the stun that ends up landing at his feet. Now at 2v2. Another situation for Assault and Arcitys. Try to come away with it around that you have to.
From this play. Now it's all about finding that first kill. If you are Assault, Dead Silence is not reset, but now it's all left up to Slasher. 1v2.
All up to Slasher. Now versus Arcitys. 30 seconds to go. 2 vets. Slasher in need of a W. As we said, the series, all eyes on him. Assault tosses out that nade, trying to find information. He knows roughly where Slasher's gonna be. Slasher catches the shoulder, but Assault, he can't leave that gunfight. He can't necessarily leave that fight. And it looks like Slasher is gonna clutch it out for the team.
Right.
And if we know it, Atlanta knows it as well. They know they've got all eyes on that plant. They want to try to get it down over an A. Simp jumps on through. He ends up falling. It's Joda Thieves and Exceed. The rookies were able to deliver. It was his way up the alley. And now it's all up to him. A 1v3 now as the bomb gets planted. And his life gets made that much more difficult.
Yeah, LAG aren't going to give up anything easy. Assault was just throwing shoulders, dancing around.
Whoa.
Cellium still able to find that kill. Now, it's looking like Cellium is going to invest that Dead Silence. It could be such a big play if he can read how they're set up properly.
Spots out one. Now brings it to a 1v1. Goes for the dolphin dive. Oh, Cellium. Oh, my word. We'll decide to go ahead and invest the Simp Texas, invest the nades. Meanwhile, it's Arcitys toward the top. Who cuts down Cellium. Meanwhile, Joda Thieves, the trades go back and forth, and now it could be all on to aLLeY. Could make the play on the flank. Could it be versus Slasher? Runs right past him. Dead Silence runs out, Jay.
He's right below him. He's right below him. Both of these players are getting a couple sound cues of how they're going to be set up. aBeZy's able to sniff out Assault. So now in the 2v1, all of the Arcitys. Can he do it versus his old team? Makes it a 1v1.
Oh, aBeZy is able to take it. In my word, it just felt like...
From the Guerrillas, they're pushing up towards Ammo Alley. They're able to take control of White. Now the pressure's going to be over towards B, and Exceed already finds his way in towards B side.
Cellium, let's hear those footsteps. So Atlanta are hot in the heels of the Guerrillas play over at that B site. It's Slasher who answers early. Simp runs through for 2. Says goodnight to the rookies, and now Arcitys staring down the barrel of a 1v4. And the way Joda Thieves looked like for a moment had an opportunity to make a play. It's player 5 and Cellium who's able to sniff out Exceed. He's hungry to find the second. Big gunfights going on across the map as Joda Thieves is able to find one onto Simp. A current 3 versus 3.
It's hot party. Not a single play from LAG are able to hop on towards the bomb. They're able to spot at least one player in towards the site, but Slasher with that repositioning is able to find 3 kills in that round number 10. Beautiful plays out of him. LAG were not ready for that angle to be covered. Lines up the first, lines up the second. I'm pretty sure that was the 3rd kill.
Or then in just one round to close it out, Atlanta on the attack as they begin their pursuit at that A site, Jay.
Oh, and Slasher finds the first blood onto Exceed, trying to get aggressive through that keg alley. So now in the 3v4, aBeZy finds a second with the nade. Joda Thieves does have that silence pop, but he's going to get spotted by Simp. He has to find a couple kills.
Oh, Joda Thieves, 1v3. Is this about to be a breakdown? Is it about to be a reverse sweep? It looks like there's a lot of potential for it to be. Assault able to cut away Cellium. Still 2 more to go. 10 seconds on this bomb, and this one is over. Atlanta Faze.